Setting up here. Two different isometric exercises I want to highlight today. One of them is overcoming, one of them is yielding. Yielding, I'm trying to basically start to feel the weight in the rack position and want to get acclimated because 3 plates is a beast. 2 plates I'm familiar with, but 3 plates in the rack position has been a long time. Oh man, this is a contentious debate. Do the plates face in or out? I'll let you guys argue about it in the comments. I do out. I'm an outie. I'm not an innie. Now the real psychopaths, they'll bring them together. So you get like one facing out, one facing in and sandwiched together, and then it's, I don't understand that at all. To each their own. Whoa. So am I sore from the last workout? Embarrassingly, yes. But not where I thought I would be sore. I think what happened was I haven't done lunges and not a lot of split stance squats in a long time. So I found out right away, I was like, my stability is not the same, the strength, the response isn't there. I'm trying to really build upon this frame again, which is, again, this is kind of like, this is all new to me in terms of being really diligent and slow and methodical. Because anytime I went for like a strength goal before, I was like, how much can I rip? Like, and I want to get there as fast as possible. So it's hard for me to, like, I've been coaching people through all this on the podcast and with that mentality of like trying to take on everything at once. And I'm guilty of it too. Like it's something I just want to just jump in and go. That being said, I'm going to start with some mobility exercises, and we're going to cover more of the rotation. So it gets the wrists, it gets the elbows, it gets the shoulders. And a great one for that is our handcuffs to rotation. Now I like to do these on the incline bench instead of laying down flat, just because it just it allows more of that free travel of motion. But anyway, I'm not going to try and talk while I do this because it'd be awkward. So that's pretty much like the full range and capacity for shoulder movement. Covers all the bases. Internal, external rotation, adduction, abduction, rotation. It can be surprisingly exhausting if you actually put effort into it. A lot of people do these drills and they don't tense up at all and get the muscles fired up, which is defeating the entire purpose. I'm really trying to train my body again to not relax when I don't want it to relax. It's a common problem. You'll see this with people when they squat. They squat with momentum and then they lose their bracing. Leave themselves vulnerable, susceptible for injury. I can't afford that, dude. I can't afford to get injured. I'm not trying to do that in this series. You're gonna hold me that, Dylan. Okay, buddy? All right. You don't have to do a whole lot of those, so it's the good news. You get it all firing off and awake. So these are our Indian clubs. There's a few basic movements that I feel like provide the most value. A lot like that mobility exercise, it kind of just covers the entire base. For me, the heart swing is one of those movements, one of those swings. It's really simple, but looks complex. You look like I'm bringing in the airplanes into their gate. Instead of just having my own overcoming type of isometric where I'm adding tension to the movement, this one I'm loading the movement. So that helps me to actually now tense up naturally to be able to account for this load, which then strengthens the rotator cuff. So this is like, I don't know, maybe 5 pounds. You can start with like 2.5 pounds is probably typical. Anyway, this is the heart swing. A lot of variations to that movement, but if you guys learn how to do that, you're gonna be in a good spot. I like to call this one, step into the blender. You'll get diced up. Just a light little warm up here with the clubs. I was at a hotel gym and they had some Indian clubs and I was like, mind blown. Ancient tool that was actually pretty cool and helpful for training Indian soldiers, that and the gada. So this is the mace bell, which is kind of a version of the gada. So with this, I just do a 360 swing. I'd probably use the lighter one if I did one arm at a time. But since I'm doing both, I'm gonna start here. You just want to get a nice power stance, a little flex in the knee, and tighten up the core. And I'm just gonna kind of get into it here. I'll give you the cues later. Reps each side. Yeah. Nice and loose and connected.
For your like normal everyday client, what's the progression to get to these sort of movements, or you just have to go straight into it?
There's actually ways to, well, first of all, I have to see if their mobility is in their shoulder is ready for any kind of ballistic or dynamic movement like that. But I'd probably start with the kettlebell halo first. Kettlebell, and you kind of flip it up by the handles. And you start by trying to, you almost want to create like a box that's only about a foot away from your body, behind and front and to the sides. And you try to stay tight within that box. So I'm going to bring my elbow up and I'm going to drop the other one down to accommodate that as I'm pulling it back over my head, which lifts this elbow up. And it keeps it close to the back of my head. Now, bringing the weight down, bringing this elbow down here, and then wrapping it back around. Same thing on the other side. So you just get kind of tight in this box, being able to rotate. Once you get that down, I'll go with some Indian clubs, the lighter version, usually one at a time, just to make sure they get this pattern down. Because again, it looks smooth and fluid when somebody does it with good form, but getting there and sharpening that movement is a whole other thing, you know that. I'll tell you what, those were pivotal in terms of me moving forward with my bench press. The biggest limiter for me was always my deltoid. And so I would get an impingement inevitably, and it would limit me in terms of any more progress of strength. So this unlocked another like 20 pounds that I could push. So that's why this time I'm trying to be diligent, like, hey, let's build it up. Let's get the support system activated. And then I'm gonna get stronger, and then I'm gonna get faster. So it's like 1, 2, 3. And then hopefully I get that technique of the explosive Olympic lift style progression with that. Okay, one more rep. more set with these, rather. It's good. This is a good song for this. I need a little anger. Okay, so here's an overcoming isometric. We're gonna try and get in this rack position and press. So my goal with this is to recruit as much muscle fibers as possible. So really ramp up that force production. So as I press, I want to hold for like 5 to 10 seconds, usually about 5 seconds so I don't pass out. But really like exert as much effort as possible. One of the only ways you can max out without a lot of damage or any damage. I want to really like stretch that capacity for me to feel that in terms of I have the ability to summon that amount of force that I need to push 315 overhead. So as you go about hip to shoulder width, everybody's different with their press, but that's my comfort. Try and work on my wrist position, work on my bracing. Oh hey, what a better time than now to tell you guys about the stack that I'm on right now. This is from my friends over at Promethean, and they sent me over some of these bioregulators, which is a new thing. I've been experimenting with peptides, but I've never tried the bioregulators, which are a little more joint specific. So they sent me a stack with cartilage bioregulators, with blood vessel bioregulators, with bone marrow, and with muscle. And so what I do is take 2 of these a day at different times, one before my workout, one later on, and it's supposed to help and support this tissue that I'm going to be damaging as I'm cranking that notch up quite a bit with the intensity. So 10% off, use code JustinNPM. Anybody that think isometrics are easy needs to do this. So it's real easy to be lightheaded and pass out if you hold your breath. Don't want to do that. That's why I'm trying to get those exhales in between my teeth, in between. Stay tight, but still get that air out. Don't hold it in. I don't know what it is, but anytime I have to really max press, it gets me angry. This actually takes a lot out of you. One time I did a whole workout of isometrics with one of my friends. And of course, I did like 8 or 9 exercises back to back. I was torched for like a whole week. Like, and it just, your central nervous system just gets fried. Your body gets trashed if you do too much, so. That being said, let's do more. That's one of those, from an outside perspective, like you don't get any reward from it in terms of, oh look, he's lifting heavy weight. You have no idea how much effort you're putting into that. Only you know. And personally, I'm trying to bring back a little bit of that kill switch I used to have. Grab me those creatine gummies, I forgot. Yeah, sweet. Forgot to take these earlier, but usually I'll take about 4 or 5 a day, just to try and keep consistent with creatine levels. So this is another one of those proven supplements that conveniently packaged in a gummy. It's like way more consistent for me to just consume. And I know there's other variations of this, and Legion makes a good product too for powder that you can put in and mix with water. But this is just, it's tasty and, you know, one of those nice treats. But they have all kinds of different flavors. This one is blue raspberry. So a lot of the construction of this studio and the design and the layout and machines and all that stuff, I had a lot to do with that, with our designer Nancy and our partners that provided some of the equipment. So I definitely think it looks better. You guys got here right around when it was kind of iffy, and then we just did this big overhaul, so I think it looks a lot better. Let's at least put clips on it. That's as safe as I get today. Okay, so now we'll get into more of the yielding isometrics. And I'm just gonna tense up to support the weight of it. Let gravity and the weight provide all the resistance. Stack some weight after that, about 5 seconds or so. Gotta wait till the next song, you can't do it. You know, this is total momentum killer right here. It's funny, this might be my PR song, we'll see. I'm yet to determine that. Yeah, I can't wait to start messing around with like smelling salts, and I'm gonna throw the whole kitchen sink on me. It's like you're getting just kicked in the face with ammonia. It's almost like a tunnel vision of focus, and you're just, whew. I really gotta pick these playlists better. I love this song, but here we go, here's a good song. It's so light. It's been a while. This is why I want to start incorporating more front squats. It starts here, Josh. So this is supposed to go over my head. Cool. Totally. I've done 275 5-6 years ago. So like in my head, I'm like, that's pretty close. Like I could build on that in 3 months. But now I'm like, wow, okay, there's a lot of work needs to be done. This is gonna be rough. And that's just holding it. One more. The rest periods in between are important. If I just jump back in, then I'm not replenishing stores. I'm doing it under fatigue. I don't want to do this under fatigue. I want to make sure I train myself the same when I get under a bar. Same response. Same ability to just generate force. So this becomes lighter in my mind, which it will. It will. Ah, see, that already felt a little lighter. Yeah, it's the shock of it, you know? It's like, it's been so long. Thank God. What do you think, Kyle? Stupid? Oh yeah, easy. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, not today. Okay, so that was 3. We're gonna do a kneeling bottoms up press. And I'm gonna hold 2 different positions with this, so it's gonna be still, I don't even know how you classify this because it's isometric, but then I'm doing the actual movement of it. So I'm in the rack and then the lock position. Both of those positions I wanna reinforce. Jerry was hitting me up earlier for this playlist, and I might put it out there, you know, just for Jerry. Just want to start here. So I'm fighting the rotation and the lateral forces for about 5 seconds. I'm gonna pack that shoulder, extend the elbow, hold that for 5 seconds. The reason I'm doing it on my knees because I'm trying to give now my support system a bit of a break. So I am feeling, as I'm doing these things and trying to generate force, you brace really hard. It fatigues my core. I'm gonna have to work on my strength of my core too, which I'm gonna do at the end. All right, everybody has a dumb side. This is my dumb side. I gotta catch you up, buddy. In fact, I should have probably started with my left side. That's always a good hack. But you know, I like to give advice and not take it, so. Okay, I should have increased the load on that. All right, heavier guy. But the key is to not overdo it on the active recovery days, which out of the 3 of us, I've adopted the philosophy we all kind of share because I've seen it work, and I've met awesome people like Brian Kula and DeFranco, and these other really world-renowned strength coaches that they don't use fatigue barely at all in their training, and they have a real good gauge on. And Corey Schlesinger was really good about stress management with his athletes. So if you want to go next level, you got to think about this. You can't just muscle things up and hope for the best. So it's my little piece. This song rips so hard. I feel like I probably put somebody in the hospital in the mosh pit for this song. Here's the challenging little guy. Wiggly woggly. There you go. Once you stress it, that's where all the fun movement comes in. You got to account for it and micro adjustments. So we're gonna go heavy with the kettlebells now and just do some walks. I'm gonna do a rack and suitcase carry combo. So one racked, one in the suitcase position, bracing. So I got good posture the whole time and I'm controlled. I also like to do a lot of farmer carries. It's just great for building volume and reinforcing good posture and just kind of getting almost coiling down the body and getting it to respond and stabilize. So most things that happen that become problematic when weight shifts or gets out of your midline. So when you add locomotion and you're loaded, it'll stress those outside forces a lot more. So tendency to pull me left to right with one weight at my side, you feel that, and then you have to account for that, and your obliques have to respond, and then your core and your legs and everything else has to stay balanced. I like to do those either before or after at the end of the workout. We're just gonna hang and do some, what we like to call ball ups in the gymnastic world. Actually, I'm gonna bring my Olympic rings in here. That's the next move next week. Olympic rings. I love those things. Don't judge my midriff. Here we go. And yes, I work out in pants. I know somebody asked that question, right? What are you doing wearing pants? These are Viore, and they're stretchy, like paper thin. So they're awesome for working out, actually. I only really like to work out in shorts in the summer or spring. I got no shame training in pants, as long as it's not jeans, because I'm not Chuck Norris. Can't really pull that off. What else can we talk about to delay this a little longer? I know you got some questions, Josh. Come on, buddy. Woo, and now the cool down, but you gotta stick around for that. So there's our second workout in the books. And we're just gonna build off of that. I'm not gonna do too many strength lifts yet. If I do any, I try each day to at least overhead press lightweight and grip the bar tighter But since I did those barbell isometrics, I'm gonna go ahead and rest and eat. So eating is the one thing that, another reason why I chose this direction instead of, because I've done a transformation challenge before. And that's kind of like the beginning of our podcast. You go way back. They challenged me to lose some body fat. And I was running MAPS Anabolic at the time to highlight it. And I did whatever it took. I mean, I just begrudgingly, started tapering down my calories, kept my protein high, tried not to do any cardio, because contrary to a lot of beliefs here, I probably did a lot more cardio than the other two. And it was really hit based, a lot of jump rope, a lot of assault bike, Versa climber, whatever was hard. I like doing hard shit. But it just that was just a challenge to say I could prove that I could do that. But this one is I'm proving to myself that I can still get after it and do something cool and strong. So that's the point of it now. And it's a totally different focus. So hopefully you guys get something from this. If not, just hate watch me. You can do that too. I need the views. Subscribe and like and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Actually go to mapsfitnessproducts.com because we have a ton of programs that are legit and serve a lot of different goals specifically. The thing is, you just want to get specific with what you're doing. Everybody just kind of does a general thing that they've heard their friend do, or back in our day it was like something Oprah mentioned, which probably is irrelevant now. But that's all my clients would be like, Oprah told me, to just do jumping jacks and eat cayenne peppers. I don't know. There's a lot of bad advice out there, but yeah, get more specific with your training and it's gonna do a world of wonder for you. So, until next week.